Hi Dims, Spirit Angel here, otherwise known to the real world as Amanda. Wow, big topic this time. What's new with you? Well, you could tell me what's new with you, but how about I tell you what's new in my world? I have a brand new doctor. I have had since the start of the year. Finally, a really, really good doctor who did with one lot of blood tests what I had been begging the past two doctors to do for about 6 years. So I have been diagnosed with PCOS, which for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it is polycystic ovary syndrome and slight insulin resistance, which doesn't mean I'm diabetic. Apparently, most people call it pre-diabetic. My doctor doesn't. My diet is really good. I had already been cutting down on sugar and carbs and loads of the bad stuff anyway, so as long as I don't, change my diet dramatically, I will be fine. The changes I had already been making to my diet, i.e. cooking way more from scratch, not using bottled or jarred sauces, not using packet sauces or mixes and stuff, has actually had a really good impact on my life now. These things don't happen in 5 minutes, given the state of my health and all the really full-on cellulitis and stuff. What it has meant is that my feet don't swell like they used to. I do still sometimes get swollen feet, but very slightly swollen, as opposed to swelling up like footballs. I don't get cellulitis as much as I used to, and when I do get a small breakout of cellulitis, it is just that, a very small breakout that's usually pretty easily contained. I still have to take it easy a lot of the time when that happens, but yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be. So things are slowly improving, and that's the important thing. I now teach craft once a week at a community centre called West Street, which is for people like me who suffer from depression and mental illness. If you don't know, one of the side effects or one of the symptoms of PCOS is actually depression. I also have social anxiety, which I guess, given how I come across, most people wouldn't know about me. And so I teach craft to other people with mental illness, and they're all different from the spectrum, from completely normal to some people who are a little slower. And the idea of that is that the crafts we're doing are something that at the end of each class, or maybe over a few classes, you come away with something that you have made yourself. Now, a few people say, oh, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without your help. The thing is, they're the ones doing the work. I just make it easier for them to do the work. It's a little hard because the resources are limited, and so I have to try and think on the fly of things we can do that are not going to cost a fortune, and that are something that is at the level of everybody in the class. It has to be easy enough for people who maybe don't have the skills or who don't have the ability, but hard enough to challenge the people who do have skills and have more ability to do things. So there has to be a really good balance, and I like to make sure it's something that everybody can put their own personality and stamp on. Also, I do stretch and flex class up at West Street once a week. After doing craft, we have lunch, and then I do stretch and flex and mindfulness meditation. I've joined the Daily Love, which is just brilliant. This year I took part in both their free extravaganza and the Hey House one, and I feel like I've been doing a lot more positive things. My little Etsy store, which for anyone who's interested in it is Heavenly Imaginings, have been picking up. I've been selling a few more readings than I used to, so I hope that trend continues. And basically, I'm still creating and doing all my creative things. I entered my very first art competition this year, and whilst nothing of the style that I put in got picked or even got nothing like highly commended or any of the accolades. Both my pieces were hung for the full month of the exhibit, which, as they were changing pieces and stuff, I'm really, really proud that mine made it on the walls of the art gallery in town for a whole month. That's something that is just amazing to me, and it was my first 2 pieces ever that I'd ever created for anything, so of that sort of ilk, other than, pieces you do for art at school. And I think that's about it. I think we're caught up. Other than on my recently injuring myself and stretching a tendon, which is just rest and stuff, there really isn't any other news. So I can't wait till we get the next topic. I promise to be a little more diligent this year. I have been rather slack on the DIMS videos of recent times, just life and other things, and honestly, sometimes my memory is really bad, so I forget. Anyway, it's been nice catching up with you, DIMS. I'll talk to you later. Bye from Spirit Angel.